From fasting for 18 hours to skipping breakfast, this eating plan allows you to eat almost everything and still lose weight. But an Australian surgeon claims to lose weight, dieters should ditch breakfast and use the morning to exercise on an empty stomach. Dr. Andrew Renaud, a Brisbane-based specialist in laparoscopic, colorectal and general surgery, says his research and study in the area of obesity and the gut means he's established a program will result in weight loss for troubled dieters. The program, called Nastia, advocates a dieter stick to a 6-hour eating window regimen, and spend the remaining 18 hours without consuming food. We have a serious problem where we are slipping into the worst health disaster of mankind, Dr. Renaud told News. Com. The thing with obesity is that you need to know what causes it, and most people don't understand how the human body works. What we have been doing isn't working, calorie restriction isn't working, and we are only getting fatter. Forget counting calories, according to Dr. Andrew Renaud, it's a waste of time. Sources stock. The premise around Dr. Renaud's eating plan is incorporating fasting into your everyday lifestyle. For the 61-year-old, his day revolves around a single 6-hour eating window between 1 p.m. and 7 p.m., where he will consume around 2,500 calories. The remaining 18 hours of the day is for fasting, where only water, black coffee and green tea is allowed. The underlying problem with obesity is insulin, he said. By eating regularly throughout the day, the body isn't given an opportunity to bring insulin levels back down to zero. Instead, the levels are always elated. Carbohydrates, which turn into sugar, keep that level up. This leads to insulin intolerance, which means to receive that spike in energy levels, the body needs to have more glucose. Dr. Renaud says forget breakfast, and use the time in the morning to work out. Sources stock. Insulin is produced by the pancreas, and is a main regulator for sugar levels in the blood. When we eat, glucose levels rise, and insulin is released into the bloodstream. Often, insulin is dubbed as the key to energy levels, because it opens up cells so they can take in the sugar and use it as an energy source. Dr. Renaud said we need to allow our body to stop insulin production for a large portion of the day to allow our cells to use up the fatty acids instead. All the diets concentrate on the amount of food we eat, and that is the least important because that's not what's increasing insulin, he said. Once upon a time, man would go days without food. They wouldn't wake up and say what's for breakfast. Now, some people have around 6 meals a day, which means the insulin levels never drop to zero. When it comes to food, there are 3 main factors: how much do we eat, what type of food we eat, and the amount that we eat. Of those 3, the most important is when we eat it. Dr. Renaud said to restrict eating to a 6-hour window. Sources stock. A recent study by the University of Surrey, which was published in the British Journal of Nutrition this month, showed that not only can intermittent energy restriction assist with weight loss, it will also clear fat from the blood quicker after eating meals than daily calorie restriction diets. The study, which only used a very small sample size of participants, the group were assigned to either the 5-2 diet or a daily calorie restriction diet and were required to lose 5% of their weight. Those on the 5-2 diet ate normally for 5 days and for their 2 fasting days consumed just 600 calories. Those on the daily diet were advised to eat 600 calories less per day than their estimated requirements for weight maintenance. In the study, women ate approximately 1,400 calories and men ate approximately 1,900 calories each day. The research showed that those on the 5-2 diet achieved 5% weight loss in 59 days compared to those on the daily calorie restriction diet who achieved their goal in 73 days. According to the Australian Food Standards Code, a balanced diet for an average adult is made up of 8,700 kilojoules of energy, 50 grams of protein, 70 grams of fat, 24 grams of saturated fatty acids, 310 grams of carbohydrates, 90 grams of sugars, 3 grams of sodium, salt, and 30 grams of fiber. Dr. Andrew Renaud says the key to losing weight is by only eating 6 hours daily. Sources stock. But as part of the plan, which, Dr. Renaud said is not a diet but rather a method of eating, means breakfast is off the menu. People need to stop eating for a significant amount of the day and stop eating refined carbs, he said. It doesn't matter when you do the feeding window, but later in the day tends to be easier for people. you still need to consume the same amount of calories you normally would, so 2,000 for women and 2,500 for men, and you're not restricting anything except for carbohydrates. For Dr. Renaud, a day on a plate usually consists of fresh fish, meat and poultry, cheese, vegetables and dairy. He doesn't include any form of carbohydrate, including bread and pasta. I think this eating plan is something everyone could do, he said. By not restricting, you're not running the risk of running into deficiency because there's nothing out of the diet except for carbohydrates.